DOP just walked out. As we start this show, and I'm calling it Barochistani Diaries. Like the city or the province of Balochistan, this is where we come from. My people come from Balochistan. Okay, that's all bullshit. I don't know where we come from. And we don't want to take any territory. That's for other people in the world who want to cause dissent. But speaking of dissent, there's been dissent in the show by Abhay Singh Mehta walking out before we start. But now our formal start is with young Rishi with the cap. Yeah, Rishi with the cap.
What's up, Cyrus? How are you?
You tell me. I can hear sounds in the background.
Yeah, I think,
IVM employee who's stuck inside the corridor. Bachao, you say?
All the bodies we buried.
Yeah.
Alright, let's start with the questions. First one comes from Josephine in the flying machine.
Hi, Josephine.
How do successful people like you deal with life's inevitable failures?
If you won't put pressure and say successful people like you, straight away then I start feeling like a fraud. Never say that because I don't know what to say immediately after that. But the question is how to deal with failures, which got nothing to do with whether you're successful or not, because there'll be failures. I like to vent a lot. I believe you should get out of your system, but please don't follow me. I like to just scream, shout, hit things.
That do you do regularly?
Regularly. I find a lot of my friends growing up, those who are very quiet, they tend to let it fester like a cancer. Small issues, whether it's love issue, career issue, family issue, parking space issue, whatever. Small things also irritate you. But they don't say anything and then it builds up and then they go berserk once every 4 years like the Olympics and no one can control them. So I think... Now, again, when I say release, it doesn't mean that you have to masturbate in public, beat children, urinate on old people. Although this is allowed in some cultures, but I don't accept it. So I'm saying just release it without hurting anyone else and get out of your system. After marriage, I give this advice to everybody and for both partners. Not like I'm the one suffering in marriage. Because people are in your face all the time. My wife was out of town for 8 days. She came back and straight away, why are your glasses on this? Like, I mean, it's a sewing table somebody gave her. I don't even understand the connection of why my glasses can't be on it. But why get into it? So go outside, scream for 10 seconds and come out and you feel better.
You can just go on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's what people do.
You can go on Twitter and rage. That's fine. That's the way of venting. So that's great. No problem. But yeah, so I'm saying failures are there. You just have to accept that failures are there. In fact, I think that if you accept failures, your problem will be how to deal with success. That's where we're not prepared. So suddenly you'll get some success and you don't know how to behave. So worry about that more. Failure is always going to be there Monday to Friday.
So just went.
Went with a V, German for went.
Alright, next one comes from Janki.
Hi, Janki.
Everyone has a travel blunder. What's yours?
We went to Switzerland in 2012, if I remember correctly. So I thought, this is going to be a great holiday. And the kids were young and my wife loves to wander and all that. Man, it was a little, to be honest, it was, I think my excursion to Lonavala when I was 7 was more fun. It was so, there's nothing to do. If you just want to get away from human beings, because we drove across the entire country, there are hours where you don't see any human beings at all. And then suddenly you see one cow. And then you realize it may not be a cow, it just might be a large lady, but you can't see from far. But the cows have bells, so you could hear them sometimes before you saw them. And yeah, so I think, not to diss Switzerland, lovely place, but with kids and all, there's not much to do. I don't know what to do. I remember the coronation happened of the Queen in England. And the highlight for us the entire trip was Kunal Vijayakar singing God Save the Queen and asking us to keep quiet and show respect.
Wow.
That was the only, suddenly in the middle of, in Montreux or something, where the hell were we? French-speaking part. And it was like, this guy just said, okay, now stop. The coronation is happening. I need to watch it. And that was the highlight. So with children, please plan your holiday properly. Without children, I think every place has something to offer you. But separate rooms, remember.
Always. Right. Next one comes from Sid. How to avoid the political and argumentative side of the internet and real life.
Yeah, but the internet's political side is not something you should worry about too much because everybody's just trying to be as loud as possible. It's almost like when you're in school and you just want to get the teacher's attention. Miss me. It's all that. It's just madness. So I don't think you should take all that seriously. It's pointless. The great thing about the internet, what I've learned so far is that 99% is just like, fecal matter, which you have to put through into the toilet and then flush.
Yeah, like 90% of the internet is porn.
Yeah. Exactly, and then just a little bit here and there, which will you get a pearl of wisdom or something that's good or benefit you. So you have to work hard. You're like a predator. You have to hunt for food, and finally you get something. So I think we are taking it too seriously. Why are we taking it so seriously? Just chillax, man, and watch animal videos like me. That's the best thing in the world. Just live with animals, maybe plants. As you get older and you find animals are too active, switch to plants.
Then what about real life? How will we avoid?
But real life is overrated, na? Why are we getting to real life? So we should have only have a small window for real life. If we take real life too seriously and have it on our head all the time, life's fun is just taken away from us. I mean, just think for a second. You live, you die. The whole existential point is just a waste of time. The futility of living. What do you achieve? You achieve nothing. What is the validation for your life? What is the point of anything? What is suffering left, right, and center that you see? What is pain and anguish that you see? And the fact that everybody is unhappy if they look deep down. What's the point of real life? That's why we invented alcohol. So avoid real life as much as possible.
You gave up, right?
Yeah, I had to give up because of real life.
All right. Next one comes from Rob. What can you never pronounce correctly?
In Hindi, lots of words, anything with the and ter, like Tardeo. That was a killer for me because I had to say that in MTV for the first 3 years. PO Box number 7906, Tardeo Tulsiwadi. That was a real problem because then everybody will be laughing. And tar and der together. In English, film. I say film as in FILUM. Everybody used to point out to me, it's film.
Film.
Yeah, I say it like 2 syllables. You're supposed to say it like 1 syllable. It's like film.
Film, yeah.
But I tend to say film.
A lot of people do.
And yeah, it stays with you.
Film.
When you're young, you make a big deal out of all these things. Later on, you realize it's a waste of time. Other people, oh, you said the wrong word. You will go to hell. It's a point. You really want to waste your time. Yeah, so it doesn't bother me now. But it's amazing how the same words, Hindi, English, whatever language, the same words get, the mispronunciation never changes. It's the same words. Other words I can't say is like marriage. I don't say it properly. I try my best, but it doesn't come out. Income, tax. There are words that are challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next one comes from Torogan.
Torogan.
What currently non-flying animal would be most lethal if given the ability to fly?
Oh, honey badger. Honey badger, most ferocious animal. The honey badger and the wolverine, they're cousins. Just get them, if they could fly, my God, I love them. They fight anything. They're so fearless, it's ridiculous. I would think that they would be the head of some, crazy army if they were humans. They'd be the kind of people. They're the kind of people who say, let's attack Ukraine. Doesn't matter if it takes 2 years. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I would say don't give the honey badger wings. Very dangerous. Also not my wife. She's got a bad temper. I've said that a few times, but it's not untrue. I wish people didn't have such bad tempers. Human beings with bad tempers are very dangerous. Animals, at least, the bad tempers live in their habitat. But human beings start moving around. Sorry?
They attack, no, directly.
Yeah, they attack directly and they have the ability to go beyond their territory. Which other animals don't really do. They don't invade territories. It's in that one area where they want dominance.
They just protect their own.
Protect, dominance, whatever. You don't. Have you ever heard of a seal leaving from Portugal and going all the way down to Egypt and saying, okay, now I'll take over here? No, it doesn't happen for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Animals are so much better. It'll be hilarious, but they've never even thought of that.
Like the way the birds migrate.
Yeah.
Like just see.
But the birds migrate because the humans are horrible. They look down and say, ugh, can't bear these guys. Let's try some other continent. They go there. Oh, don't blame the animals.
Okay, next one comes from Sarah. What exactly is the significance of 18 as the minimum age of consent?
As consent for sex or consent for voting? Because I think sex is less dangerous. This voting, I think minimum age should be 65. Or maybe 73 or something. I don't know if that 18 works for consent for political consciousness and awareness. Because nobody's taking the data down seriously and studying the matter and thinking, is this person the right person for our constituency? And henceforth, will that be the right person to send to the center who will then get a majority, hopefully, because I want like-minded people. For sex, I think this 18 you're right, it's a strange figure. Because when I was 18, I think I was more like 13. Both physically and mentally. And there are some people at 14 who are like 19. Like my friend Kunal at 11 was 60, which he will be in May. So, but they have to come to an average figure, so they come with this 18. I totally don't agree. And you look at different cultures for consent across the world. Some are 16, some are 17, some are 18. There are some cultures where it's 10. So it's ridiculous also. I think kids are overrated, the whole experience. They should be made to be children for longer. 37 is what I say for consent for sex, and 69, no pun intended, for political consciousness and the right to vote.
Do you think it has any relation to military? I think.
So the military also for conscription, they want to come to a point where you're a male and female now are adults so that they don't feel bad in case something happens to you, like you get hit by a car when there's no war. So that also they've come with a figure. But again, what is the point of this figure? It's a hard-nosed figure, 18. I feel 18, you're very young most of the time. A lot of people are just, they're just 18. They're scared about everything, and suddenly you say, you're a man, here's a gun, go shoot that guy, that man. Okay, imagine you're Russian at 18 and they put you in the army. You were playing football with your pals, and 3 days later they send you to the front and you have to shoot.
No idea.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really cruel. Yeah. As for consent, if you're talking about sexual consent, I'm telling you, it should be the parents, the kids should write essays explaining why they should be allowed to, the kid should be allowed to have these relations with the other kid that he's going to have relations with. And I think we should have a whole community looking into it and then deciding, beta, not for 6 months at
Very
least.
like
Yeah,
conservative.
very immature. Your spelling was very wrong and your pronunciations were also very bad. Huh? You must learn how to say tardeo. Huh.
Okay, next one comes from Tisha. How did your
Tisha?
Tisha, yeah.
Oh.
How did your parents react when you told them about your partner and that you want to marry them instead of arranged marriage?
My parents are mixed marriage, so there's no question of arranged marriage. I mean, how do they advertise for the mixed marriage? You have asked for another mixed marriage child. So that my parents didn't have any problem. They just thought that their son is a moron and who will marry him. So if any girl was willing to, I mean, they were like, let's quickly get this done before the effect of the medication wears off the girl and then she realizes what she's doing. So I think that was never an issue. My parents are very liberal. No problem. Lots of girls used to come and stay in my house. And okay, now it sounds like an orgy ashram. It's not like that. But it was just very open. My father's issues, firstly, were never to do with sexuality and alcohol and all these things. He was very calm about. But if you got a bill, you had to explain the bill. If you got, when I went to jail and didn't get the receipt for bail money, he went berserk about the bail, not about why I'm in jail. So it's like that. That very different sort of upbringing for me. The normal issues were never issues, what other kids went through. And my house was always very good for girls, especially to change. It was the place I didn't know then, but all the girls from conservative background would come to my house because my mom was so cool, and they would change their clothes. And you know, a lot of Marwari and Gujarati girls I grew up with, and they would come home and they would switch from salwar kameez and these very very ethnic sort of very full, and suddenly it'll be like boob tube and short skirt. And I'm like, Renu, that's you. What? I was like, what? I mean, it was amazing. So we were like a changing room for a lot of people. And then my dad smoked, and the boys would drink with him, and even the girls would drink later. But and smoke. He was very happy if people smoked. So my father would be very happy to find a friend. He'd be like, Sunit, you smoke? Gaurav, you smoke? Sachin, you smoke? Samir, smoke? And if anybody says no, it'd be like, that's very bad. So imagine, this is the upbringing.
Okay, next one comes from Hiten. Why are so many Indians socially awkward?
Yeah, Indians socially awkward. Firstly, I think it's more males than females. Females tend to be a little better with it, from what I've gathered. I think there's a lot of shyness in Indian culture, in middle class India, and especially when it's there for all of us when we're taken out of our comfort zone, and it's not easy. But yeah, definitely the personality takes time to come out, as against the Americans who are overconfident when they meet you. They're immediately talking like they're talking to an entire
Like
theater.
they know you.
Yeah, I mean,
since the
so there's a
beginning of
huge
time.
difference in what is called the first personality, I would say. But I think the actual personality takes time to come out from anyone. So what you're getting is just the first personality. The first personality, many middle class Indians is that's why people like me can shine initially quickly because we are loudmouths, and then people who are more, but they'll come out of their shell, and then you'll see them and you'll realize that they are, what's the word? They're swans. They're not ugly ducklings. But it takes some time. It's just the way we are. We are a little shy culture and we don't like to be very loud initially. Having said that, have you been to Punjabi weddings? Oh my God.
Okay, next one comes from Hardik. How can I know if I'm right or wrong?
Firstly, your name is Hardik, and in this season where we are right now, I feel bad for you. I support you. I think you're a human
He's not
being.
the same one.
He might be, because they're not doing that well, so he might be writing in just to get it off his mind. Sorry, what is the question?
How can I know if I'm right or wrong about how I look at things?
Oh my God, that must be him. I mean, this is the perfect question. This is Hardik Pandya himself for sure. Yeah, William Shakespeare, who was my great grandfather's classmate, a few more grandfathers before that, he said that there's nothing such as good or bad, but thinking makes it so. I like that line a lot. It's all perspective, right? Because and literally you can see things which were right are wrong now. Crimes which were crimes then, like for example marijuana, was people have been hung and all that in Asian countries for that, or Arabic countries for that. But today legalized in many parts of the world. So thinking is very important here. People just blanket say black and white and right or wrong. So yeah, if you can come out and see the perspective of good and bad, seems to help. Again, why are you listening to me? I feel very scared if a society is being using me as someone to help them with their life, because I want to be that frustrated, angry young man who spits in public and doesn't get penalized. Oh, that's right, it's India.
Next question comes from Jia. Why are we so bad at predicting weather?
That's a very good question. With all the sort of instruments that are there, I think this is what happens. To save money in certain areas, you get the brand new instruments, then you sell them, and then you take old instruments on bhada. So what happens is there must be there's sort of corruption is causing it. But otherwise, there's all mathematical calculations that happen: wind factor, sea breeze, gas in the atmosphere, position of the sun, position of the moon, position of the sun. It's all maths, right? So why would the maths go wrong? Because we're very good with maths. So, but what we're not good with is corruption. So that's what there's something in this. Corruption is endemic to the fact that the genius of the Indian comes down because of corruption. So while we may have invented Mawsum,
Like what
excuse
kind
me,
of corruption?
the fact that you don't use the best instruments, the people are not there, they're taking freelancing, they're actually, doing some for a weather channel at the same time instead of doing that. So we had done a gag on Week That Wasn't once in the old days because they kept getting the rain prediction wrong, especially in the turn of this century, the early 2000s. They kept getting it wrong. It will rain on Wednesday, nothing happens. And Thursday, full rain. So we decided there has to be a new instrument. So we gave the instrument as a coin. So you do heads or tails. Heads, barish, tails, no barish. And then we're thinking maybe it's not a joke. Maybe that's what they do. Chai pila do. Hey, Jaswant, aja. Tak, bol. Heads, barish. Okay, tails. Sorry, no barish. Today, no barish, ladies and gentlemen. Washed out India.
Hilarious though.
Yeah.
Okay, next one comes from Thomas. What's the best piece
Thomas.
of advice you have ever received?
Fuck off. I love it when people are straight to the point, tell you to leave. For me, when you do work in our industry, or forget our industry, everywhere in India, nobody actually, like in the West, they're more open about firing you or not giving you the job. They actually call back and say you've not got the job. Nobody does that in India. So you audition or you do your stuff or whatever. I remember I had one radio contract which I didn't even know they had stopped the contract after about 2 years. So I come there and then they tell me while I'm in the studio that, sir, we are not doing this anymore. But why could you just, what was the, no, but nobody wants to be the bad guy. So nobody wants to pick up the phone and do that ever. With auditions, it happens all the time. They call you 10 times, sir, ye barabar nahi tha, ek aur karo, abhi red shirt pehen ke karo, background acha nahi tha. You do all that, do 5 auditions, and there's no callback saying it's rejected. That they never do. They just leave you hanging there. You're thinking, boss, I didn't do well enough. I want to do a 7th one. But they already rejected you, but they'll not tell you. It's horrible. I don't know why we can't just be open and say it, because it's not personal. It's a business. They like you, don't like you. Fine. Nobody has to cry about it. Just say, bro, sorry, move on, do your own thing. We have gone to somebody else. Not once. But when they're looking for you, they will move heaven and earth to find you. It's just the amazing part. The mehnat is fantastic.
Call you like a lot of times.
But nobody has in India, nobody ever tells you to fuck off. Why can't they? I wish girls would say that sometimes. They let you go. A girl wants to reject you, even because of the Indian way, she'll take it's an EMI. She'll reject you little in Jan, little more in Feb, little more in March. And by August, because of somebody's dying of cancer, that's the reason given for you to break up the relationship. Yeah. She didn't want you for the last 9 months. No pun intended. True. I don't know why we can't do. Please, I beg you, Indian people of the next generation, Desi log, soch ke karo, barabar karo abhi. Bolo sabko ki I don't want you. I reject you. Just, it's the nicest thing to tell someone. Please.
Just get it over with.
Yeah. Masooms is your Masooms.
Right. The last question comes from Kunal. Okay. If political debates were replaced with a rap battle, what do you think who do you think would win?
You're making a joke about rap battle. It's not far away. Just think about it. It's 2024, by 2029, 34, 35, whatever. I can see all this happening. Because you have to entertain people. How do you get there? Nobody's interested. How much manifesto? I call the average Hindustani and say, boss, manifesto ke baare mein batao. BJP ka manifesto ka, Congress. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody knows anything.
They'll say politicians like reading their verses from teleprompter.
No, I've got so many people. I try to have a conversation with them when they say, they're polarizing the country. So I said, okay, but just can you, expand on that? That's it. They've just got these set pieces in their head and they'll talk like that. Not that I'm supporting any party. I'm just saying nobody's thinking it through. So you can't even, what's the point of manifesto? Come on. Ultimately, all societies want one thing. Petrol ka bhao kya hai? Tax ka bhao kya hai? Mere ko naukri milega, nahi milega? How much for a kid in school? How much money will I save end of the year? That's all that really matters now. Who are we kidding? You can put whatever symbol, rename whoever you want to rename, build whatever bridge you want to build. But end of the day, it's only about my personal. We are selfish motherfuckers end of the day. Yeah. Who cares about anybody else? Do you really care?
Yeah.
Change the name. I've been saying change as many names as you want. Keep changing the name every week. So everybody's happy. Your entire family should have a renaming by the end of the year. But for God's sake, what does it really matter, yeah, really?
But who do you think would win?
The elections?
The rap battle.
Oh, so the rap battle also you will have to outsource, no? So what happens is this guy he'll bring Masoom into it to do stand-up comedy. They'll outsource everybody. They're doing it already. I saw our erudite chief minister with Manish Paul, the highest paid anchor in India. And suddenly Manish Paul is asking very serious questions. Like he is now Karan Thapar. Everybody's confused. I mean, you're a comedian anchor. Can you just do your thing? So the politicians are smart enough to try and involve all these actors, etc. When Salman got shot also, our chief minister went to meet him. Not
Got
shot, the building got shot.
Building, yeah.
He should have gone to meet the building. Technically, I mean, nobody actually got shot.
A lot of people visited the building.
Yeah, they all visited the building. It was like, oh my God. In fact, Salman's dad finally said, boss, stop coming. Okay? We don't need... Nobody got hurt. They shot at the building, for God's sake. It was just like, like a sort of warning or
Do
whatever.
you think
Threat.
that they will redo the wall?
Yeah.
Or they'll just keep it like...
Why will they redo the wall? You'll get
bullet
more.
holes.
You get more money for things. Yahan pe goli mara na. Like in Leopold, they've kept all the bullets and all that. You
Why
have
would
to market
someone
it.
go and live there if
Huh?
the building is like the target?
Because if you have to do anything in a building, a big building, you have to go through bureaucracy worse than government. If 40, Mr. Mehta will say, "Mera paas paisa nahi, I don't want to pay for this." And then so one lady will say, "This foundation is very different. I don't like the color." You have no idea. We can't change plants in my building. There are only 12 flats. For plants, they fight. So there's no hope for democracy. Democracy is a failed experiment. Let's accept. Oh, but by the way, we had given it up a long time back. It's not like it's flourishing. Sorry, my fault, bro. My fault. Yeah. Rap battles. Coming back to rap battles. I think it'll go beyond rap battles. There'll be new forms of music. They'll embrace it. Because ultimately, the devil has to cite scripture for his purposes, to quote Shakespeare.
They will kill it. No.
Yeah, you got to reach out to different markets. I'll never forget Rajesh Pilot came on our show when I was in 96, when I was in MTV for the first time. And he changed his, he was with Barkha, with whatever star, whatever it's called then. He did the interview in his kurta and all that. He changed into jeans and a t-shirt and came for our show. And I asked him, sir, why did you change? We were just waiting for you for the last 20 minutes. He said, and he immediately said in English, different strokes for different folks. Straight up. I love that guy. He was a lesson. It's like marketing 101. I'll do this. That was a Hindi thing for a very hardcore political audience, talking about issues, specific issues, etc. And he came with us and he spoke about music and all that. And flying planes and stuff like that. Amazing. Anyway.
Great. All right, that's all the
That's
questions.
it. We've run out. We are a little early with the AMAs today because of this young man coming on time. It's his fault. He's not done that too often, and only time, and because of that, we will cut this down by 5 minutes. So the fault is this young man who is not on frame right now. I don't think. Oh, is he? Can you come and say hi? Come and say hi, na? So we at least know.
Hello, hi, this is not.
Okay, this is not an audition. There'll be no callbacks. Bye bye.